We begin this hour with the unfolding bushfire situation impacting large parts of the country yet again. The focus this afternoon is on South Australia and Victoria. Firstly to Andrea Crothers. And Andrea, emergency warnings issued for Victoria just in the last couple of hours. We can see it's windy. Talk us through it.
Absolutely, Tom. It's very windy here. There are currently two emergency warnings in place. The first is at Strathallan in the north of the state. Now, it's affecting the nearby towns of Rochester, Bunn, Ferrydale. The other emergency warning is about 50 kilometres north of Ballarat at Mount Glasgow. Now, that fire is heading towards Junak, and it's also affecting the surrounding areas of Mount Cameron. Stony Creek and Red Lion. Now, for those particular areas, authorities say that the safest option is to stay indoors and seek shelter, that it is too late for residents to be leaving, and they certainly do not want them to be getting into a vehicle and trying to drive away. Now, this is all brought on by a very toxic combination of wind and heat. We've got those incredible pictures coming out of Mildura in the state's far northwest today, where you can really see a blanket of red dust going across the town as that wind just goes straight through that area. Now, we have seen wind gusts today up to 120 kilometres per hour across the state. Temperatures are up about 40 degrees from 11:30 this morning, which is about 20 degrees above the average for this time of year. There is a total fire ban in place across Victoria, in particular a code red, which is the highest fire danger rating here in Victoria. It's equivalent to what other states would know as catastrophic. That is in the Mallee and Northern Country. Now, this is the first time that code red has been declared since 2010.
When we talk about code red, so we're talking about if we get fires that start under those conditions, they will be uncontrollable, they'll be unpredictable, they'll be fast moving, and houses are not designed or built to withstand fire under those conditions. So there is the potential. You know, I don't want to be an alarmist around this, but these are significant grass and bushfire conditions, and again, we've not had a code red since 2010. It's not a decision I make lightly in relation to these conditions.
Now, Tom, this is the peak of the fire danger for today. Conditions are expected to improve come 3 o'clock. Now, there is also a warning for thunderstorm asthma. Now, 3 years ago on this very day, due to a high rate of pollen, we did see 10 people tragically die as a result. There is a warning for those with those vulnerabilities today to take care. Tom?
Just another aspect, Andrea, we've got also 11 properties on South Australia's York Peninsula being impacted by bushfires. Emily Burley joins us now from the Country Fire Service headquarters. Emily, the extent of that damage is not yet clear.
That's right. Country Fire Service impact assessment teams are on their way to the York Peninsula to determine exactly how much damage has been done. As you said, early reports indicate 11 properties have been impacted. It's not yet clear if those have been damaged or destroyed. It's also not clear if those are homes or sheds, as it is a rural area. Now, fire authorities have praised the early preparation and the cooperation of residents yesterday in preventing lives from being lost. But 33 people have been treated for smoke inhalation as well as minor burns, while 11 firefighters have suffered heat exhaustion. Now, those two fires, the most serious fires, one, the Yorketown fire on the lower York Peninsula, the other, the Price fire on the upper York Peninsula, both started yesterday afternoon in those catastrophic conditions. Now, the Price fire was downgraded yesterday afternoon, but the Yorktown fire continued to burn at emergency level throughout the night. At one point, firefighters did get the upper hand there, but as forecasted, a cool change came through in the early hours of the morning, and with that, a change in wind direction. Now, that swept the fire north towards the town of Edithburgh, where we understand most of those damaged properties are. But for the time being, for the moment, all of the fires in South Australia have been downgraded. Those two fires are at advice level. But as we heard a short time ago from fire authorities, winds are still proving challenging for firefighters on the ground.
In terms of the change which has come through from the current conditions, the worst of fires is over for today. However, we have a number of fires which we're still dealing with, and the Yorktown fire continues to give us concern because it threatens two towns.
Now, that wind change pushed a lot of that smoke from the York Peninsula over the Adelaide region. Adelaide residents waking up this morning to find a very dark, thick smoke over the city, and that prompted a lot of 000 calls from people who thought there was a fire in Adelaide. Now, the Metropolitan Fire Service has asked us to reassure people there is no fire in Adelaide. That smoke is from the York Peninsula, but particularly for people with breathing conditions, the air quality is low here, and people are being advised, if possible, to stay indoors.